as always, thank you to the members of the channel. And don't forget to subscribe to my second channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Link is in the description. We are returning to Thomas Wooden Railway content with today's video. And in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the adventures of Thomas from the Mattel and Fisher-Price era. Yes, Soda Productions is reviewing a Mattel and Fisher-Price item. Now, I bought this pack about a year ago, brand new. I never intended to take these guys out of the box because, well, I'm not doing a Thomas Wooden Railway series anymore. I'm not really making Thomas Wooden Railway content anymore, even though that is what my channel started with. But I did want to give you Thomas Wooden Railway fans some Thomas Wooden Railway content to enjoy. So here we are with this video today, unboxing these guys, taking a trip down memory lane to when Thomas Wooden Railway was actually alive and not canceled like it is now. And it was actually good. The last time Thomas Wooden Railway was even decent was 2016. Those opening 3 to 4 years of Mattel and Fisher-Price's Thomas Wooden Railway line is the last time that the line was even decent and or good. The two versions after this, meaning Thomas Wood and the reboot that got canceled, were not good. They were really bad, trash, and were not Thomas Wooden Railway at their core. So, spinning this pack around to the back side, we do have the three Thomases on a green background. Now, I am not going to give props for this packaging simply because there is nothing in this background. There's nothing but green. You could have shown off some other Thomas Wooden Railway items. You could have shown off these destinations in action. You could have had these guys on some track. You could have done something other than just throw them on a green background. It's not that creative. It's not really high effort. It's kind of just throwing it onto the packaging. Spinning the box around to the bottom, we do have the date, 2012. So this was honestly a very good way to reboot the Thomas Wooden Railway line. Give fans something they know, but let's upgrade it and make it better. For example, we do get a fishy Thomas. Thomas having fish spilt onto him has been happening throughout the TV series for a very long time. An example would be in Season 5. And then we have the Snowplow Thomas, Snow-Covered Thomas with his classic blue snowplow, but he does have an exclusive facial expression, so it looks very good. I'm not a fan of CGI Thomas in general, especially the faces of the engines. I mean, Thomas just looks like this bubbly baby with his CGI face. Really looks like a child. I really don't like it, but I will admit that these expressions on Thomas do look very nice, and so I'm excited to get these guys out of the packaging. Anyways, now it is time to take these Thomases out of their packaging, snipping the tape seal live on camera, just like I do for all of my Tomy engines. There we go. And then I guess we could do this side, but maybe they will slide out on this side if I do it correctly. And so here are the three Thomases. We are one step closer to getting them out of the packaging, but this really just makes me sad. I really wish there was a Thomas Wooden Railway line going on right now, just like all of the brand new motorized engines and die-cast push-along engines. I really wish there was some hype surrounding Thomas Wooden Railway. The reboot line that just got canceled really sucked. It was terrible, so I'm glad that's gone. I really am glad it got canceled because it's awful. But I really wish that this was back. I wish this version of Thomas Wooden Railway was on shelves still, because Mattel didn't do a terrible job with the reboot of Thomas Wooden Railway. They really weren't creative. They kind of just copied what Learning Curve did from before, so they really didn't have to show any of their brain power. And when they did reboot the line, they did a terrible job, so I really don't think Mattel deserves a whole lot of credit. I really don't think they did anything special or talented at all whatsoever. But hey, I even would take this back. This was not terrible. Man, it feels good to take out the brown turntable, some track, and review and talk about some Thomas Wooden Railway items. It feels like 2 years ago making Thomas Wooden Railway content. This is a joy for sure. So, without further ado, let's get the camera situated here. I'm such a noob. But let's take a look at, by far, the best Thomas in this pack. And that is going to be the Winter Wonderland Thomas. Now, you can call this Thomas whatever you want. Snow-covered, snowplow, whatever you want Thomas. This is the Snow Thomas, basically. And so there has been a couple of versions of this Thomas in the past, seeing different snow patterns, snow plows, faces, but this is by far the best one. Now, my favorite part about this Thomas is going to be pretty much everything. I love the blue snowplow. I love Thomas's facial expression. I love the fact that the snow is evenly distributed along Thomas. There is snow everywhere on this Thomas, whether it is on his face, his snowplow, his smoke box, his boiler, his tanks, his wheels. Snow is everywhere, so a very good job by Mattel. Now, I know I just said I really don't give Mattel a lot of credit for this reboot line, but they obviously did do some things well and some things fantastic. This Thomas is an example. It's one thing if you reuse what came before, like Mattel did, reusing everything that came before from Learning Curve. That's fine. But then if you build upon it and make it better, that's when we can really give them some credit, right? Like, it's not a bad thing that they reused everything, but I'm not going to praise them for basically releasing the same product as Learning Curve. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give them credit for this Thomas because they upgraded him and created a fantastic version. They just always have to keep trying to make things better. And so this Thomas was very well done. And to be honest with you, I really wish I was doing a Thomas Wooden Railway series still, because I could be using these Thomases in some episodes. Now, I'm just in awe because even though I didn't really like the CGI series, all of the merchandise in terms of Thomas Wooden Railway that Mattel was releasing in 2012, 2013, it was so polished. Like, it wasn't the best. More things was being made of plastic, but everything was so polished. Like, this Thomas looks fantastic in person. So clean. Obviously, it's in brand new condition, but just looks really nice all the way around. There is no snow on the backside, so I guess you could say that is a complaint. But in theory, if the snow is coming from the front, moving this way towards Thomas, then I guess his back wouldn't be covered in snow like his front. Anyways, I guess you guys can kind of see for yourselves of how nice this Thomas is. Really do love the face. Really struggling through the wind and snow. I love the blue snowplow. Looks so good. Yeah, this Thomas looks fantastic. Mattel, continue Thomas Wooden Railway, please. Just re-release your 2012 line. It's not the most impressive thing ever. A lot of things were being made with more plastic. A lot of the destinations were gimmicky and kind of trash. You kind of forgot about the express coaches. But there were some things you did very well. This is an example. Please bring it back. So anyways, that is the Winter Wonderland Thomas. Now, the version before, I believe, just had the 2003 promo smiling basic Thomas face, and I got really sick of that face. I'm not a fan of that 2003 promo Thomas Wooden Railway face. I honestly am so sick of it. I don't want to look at it ever again. I'm so sick of those 2003 promo images, faces, whatever. Excuse my grammar. I'm just rambling. But it's a breath of fresh air to see an actual good face. So, anyways, moving on from the Winter Wonderland Thomas, a very good model. Very happy with it. Mattel, good job. Please bring it back. Very nice. Now, moving on to an engine concept that was from the movie Calling All Engines, the Paint Splatter Thomas. I think it's Diesel that shunts the flatbed of paint cans onto Thomas. I forgot. That movie's really trash. But we watched it in a Discord call together, and it was really bad. But I think it was Diesel. So
this here is an example of Mattel reusing a learning curve idea for the Adventures of Thomas, not really pushing anything forward, not really making anything better. Now, Thomas did have a sad face with his previous versions of Paint Splatter Thomas, and now he has a surprised face, so I guess that's a nice change. But overall, we did not need another Paint Splatter Thomas. I guess for Calling All Engines fans, this was a nice addition, but I really didn't need another version of this. I never had a Paint Splattered Thomas as a kid. I never wanted one, mainly because it's in one scene. It's paint on Thomas. Like, it's not that attractive of a model, right? I'm not going to have Paint Splatter Thomas on my layout pulling trucks. I'd rather have the snow-covered Thomas pulling trucks, or as we'll take a look at next, the fishy Thomas pulling some vans like he got into a fishy accident, right? Like, no one cares about a Paint Splatter Thomas. So this is a reused idea. This I will not give Mattel any credit for. Not really showing off their talent and what they can do with this Thomas. But I guess it's nice they gave him a different expression, the surprised face. Did they release any other surprised face Thomases during their Mattel era? I'm not sure if this is the only one or not. I'm not sure. But we have gotten surprise face Thomases in the past, so this face concept is not brand new. Thomas has had plenty of exclusive expressions, so this is just another one in the arsenal. But I guess the paint is well done. It doesn't extend to his backside. That's kind of a bummer that they ignored the backside of these Thomases. I wish that the detail extended all the way around, especially because Diesel shunted the flatbed behind Thomas, and so the paint should be on the backside. But anyways, I also would have liked to see the face have some paint on it, as well as the wheels, even the front running board. I think we should have had some paint down there. So it's not perfect. This is for sure the worst model of this pack. I think the only decent thing is the face, but even then, it's pretty goofy. It's not terrible, but this Thomas, the more I talk about it, look at it, I realize where's the paint on the rest of him? And even on Thomas's dome, like, how is there paint all over him, but not on his dome? Like, tell me how that makes sense. So this, anyways, this Thomas is not that good. Moving on. The more I talk about it, the more I dislike it. Anyways, moving on to the final Thomas of this pack. What is this called? I don't even know. Thomas and the Stinky Fish. Well, they could have named that better, if I'm going to be honest with you. But here is Thomas covered in some fish. I'm guessing this is inspired from the classic seasons, from season 5, when Thomas had a crate of fish spilled onto him. I honestly don't know CGI Thomas and Friends episode names and events to a T, so I'm wondering what episode this was inspired by, or if it's just inspired by the season 8 episode. I think it's called Fish. I don't even know. But it is nice that Mattel decided to switch it up and get rid of the Thomas Comes to Breakfast Thomas. I am so sick of seeing that Thomas Comes to Breakfast themed release. I had multiple brand new Thomas Comes to Breakfast dioramas that I bought from a hobby store. I had 2 of them brand new in the box. To be honest, I don't really care for that theme of Thomas. I never have. I never really thought it's that cool. I know it's based off a classic episode, but in terms of a Thomas Wooden Railway model, I don't really need a Thomas Comes to Breakfast Thomas with a window frame on him and eggs and everything and branches. I'd rather have a fishy Thomas, a snow-covered Thomas, a coal dust-covered Thomas, a tired-out Thomas, a sad Thomas, etc. So I am glad that they switched it up. This I will give some credit for. Thomas does have a sad face, which is nice. I do appreciate seeing another new expression. So this is what I mean when I think Thomas just looks like a baby. Like, look at this baby-ass CGI face. Look at that. Yeah. Anyways, Thomas does have fish on his smoke box and a little bit on the top of his boiler and on his side tanks. 4 pieces on that side, 5 pieces on this side. I think they could have done a better job with the fish detailing. They could have added some more on top of Thomas. But I do like the exterior fish on the side. You can see that they are exterior molds on him. So I guess that's nice. But other than that, this is just a normal 2012, 2013 Mattel Thomas. Not really anything different, but still very polished, very nice. Man, I wish they would just go back to this. Please, Mattel, just go back to this. Please. I would buy it. I would support it. I would be positive about it. I would help out for sure. But in terms of this Thomas, overall, the positives are his face, and I guess the theme and idea of it just being a fish-covered, sad-faced Thomas. Between these 3 Thomases, the best is going to be the snow-covered Winter Wonderland Thomas by a mile, by a long shot. The second best is going to be the Thomas and the Stinky Fish, is what it's called, but just fish-covered Thomas. And then Paint Splatter Thomas is going to be dead last. I don't think it's that good. The previous versions had paint coming down Thomas's nose, and so this was kind of a lazy release, I'm not going to lie, this Paint Splatter Thomas. So that one's pretty bad. And the other 2 are much better. The Snowplow Thomas being the best by far. Looks gorgeous. I really give Mattel props for this one in particular. Very nice. Very glad I bought this pack, though. Very glad. Because that snow-covered Thomas is gorgeous. Anyways, that is Mattel's Adventures of Thomas from 2012, 2013. Hopefully I did a good job at showing you guys these engines. I think I did a pretty good job. There's not much to say. It's a lot of reused ideas, but there are some positives in this pack for sure. Anyways, hope you Thomas Wooden Railway fans are surviving nowadays. We don't have any brand new merchandise, no hope of a brand new line. So all we have is the merchandise from the past. And this is just one of them from Mattel's reboot, initial reboot. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next Thomas Wooden Railway video.